TheBlaze Radio Network. On demand.
It's not just about good health, it's about good food. Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Nostalgia Foods and Wild Rice. Edible memories from Minnesota's Northwoods. Wild berries, jellies and syrups, pepper jams that me and my family love, whipped honeys, maple syrup, maple sugar, plus wild rice and wild rice mixes like pancake mix, soup mixes, waffle mix, and hot cereals. BlazeWildRice.com to see all of their products. It's BlazeWildRice.com because most people can't remember how to spell Nostalgia, myself included. Check out BlazeWildRice.com. Hey, we've got a guest now, Sean Worthington, to join us. He's the author of Beyond Bitcoin, The Future of Digital Currency. Hey, Sean, how are you?
Very good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Now, are you opposed to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin?
Oh, no. No, I think that they're really good.
Okay.
I just, come up with something better, though.
Really? Okay. Explain to us, you have a CloudCoin idea. Is that what that is?
That's right. Yeah, I'm a tenured faculty member in the computer science department here in Butte College in Northern California. And I've got a patent pending on a counterfeit detection system that's called the raida, the Redundant Array of Independent Detection Agents. And basically it does what the blockchain does, but much better, much faster, much cheaper, much more reliable.
Okay, can you explain, and we've done this a couple different ways because, I mean, most of us, Sean, we're not that savvy when it comes to tech. We can understand parts of it. We'll never understand it the way you do. But can you explain it and put it into kind of layman's terms of what the blockchain is and how cryptocurrencies work, and then we'll explain how yours is better.
Sure. So the blockchain is the first technology to solve what's called the physical integrity problem of digital money. Basically, with any kind of digital files, you can copy them and paste them all over your computer. You can delete them, of course, and what's going to stop you from counterfeiting money if you've got digital money? You can just copy it.
Oh.
And the blockchain, yes.
Okay, so if we just said, okay, dollars are all going to be digital now. We get away with the paper, whatever, any of that won't be backed by anything. It's just digital. Someone could just fake that, right?
That's right. They could just make as many as they want. And it wouldn't work very well. So the blockchain creates a data structure that cannot be deleted or updated. It can only be inserted and read from. That basically means that you create, it can track all the transactions that ever happen. And so you can basically track all the money and it stops counterfeiting.
Okay, so all Bitcoin transactions are tracked and they'll be there like locked in and they're stored multiple places, not just in one central computer. It's basically on computers all over the world, right?
Yeah, that's right. So they've got basically the same copy of the same data that is synchronized or mirrored onto all probably about 7,000 servers or more. And it tracks every single transaction that ever happens forever. Yes.
Okay, so that's the blockchain technology that all cryptocurrencies, the ones you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, any of these are all based on. They're all using some of that. But what is yours that is different now, and how does it differ?
So ours is a counterfeit detection system. And so instead of trying to track every transaction that ever happens, we just take a look at the money and see if it's real or not. And so because we don't have to track everything, ours takes place in milliseconds, where it takes about 2 hours or so in order to confirm a transaction on Bitcoin.
Oh,
so it's much faster. And ours cannot be counterfeited at all, where with blockchain, you actually have these people called miners, and they're the ones that do the transactions, and they actually create new Bitcoins, so the number of Bitcoins grows, where the number of CloudCoins does not grow. It's always a fixed amount.
Now, wait a minute. I thought Bitcoin had a finite amount, and
they would eventually, it's like 400 million or something, or whatever it is, but I thought that there was a finite amount.
There is a finite amount, and that's a problem in itself, because the way that they pay for the system is by having these big server farms that burn through all this electricity. That's all very expensive, and the only way that they can afford to do that is if they get Bitcoins. But as time goes by, the Bitcoins become less and less, and so we're seeing that the Bitcoin miners are consolidating, mostly in Iceland, and there's only one most efficient Bitcoin miner in the world. And the number of Bitcoin miners is falling because it's so expensive to do that mining.
You say there's only one reliable Bitcoin miner in the world?
There's certainly is the most efficient, and that's in Iceland. And that's why.
Why Iceland?
These geothermal. Well, the servers are very hot, and they need cold air to heat them up.
So I was going to make a joke about that, and you're serious. It's because it's colder there?
It's because it's cold there, so it's cheaper to cool down the servers, but they also have geothermal electricity, which is, basically free. It's really cheap.
Huh.
So they got a combination of cool air and cheap electricity.
And the way they mine these is through these systems of algorithms, right, or computations. And they've become more and more complex, whereas they were easier to mine in the early days, right? That's the reason it takes more and more electricity now?
That's absolutely right. So they have an algorithm that tries to make it harder and harder to get these Bitcoins, and they basically have to guess numbers, and the numbers get bigger and bigger, and so they have to have more, there's more possible choices for them to guess, and it takes longer.
Now, when it comes to blockchain technology and Bitcoin and any of these, is there any likely way in the future that the transaction, proving the transaction, you said it takes a couple hours now, would be quicker? Would they ever be able to speed that up?
I think everybody that's involved with Bitcoin understands that they have a problem, they have a crisis. They've been trying to speed that up, and they've come up with these new technologies, and that's where you get these things called the hard forks. And this is where all the miners disagree on what the algorithm should be, and some want to change it, and some want to keep it the same.
That's what's coming up now. They're doing
civil war
blockchain fork happening, right?
And
that's right.
And that's where Bitcoin and Bitcoin 2 are going to be involved.
Explain how that works, if you would.
Well, in order to make it run, you've got to have servers. You've got to have people that run the servers, and these servers have to get paid. But the problem is that the algorithm is getting slower and slower, and so people don't want to use Bitcoin because it's too dang slow and it's too inconvenient. And the miners are worried about losing money because it's too slow, but then they're also worried about losing money if they switch to new algorithms. And so they have battles amongst themselves, and some of them want to update the software to one version, the other ones want to update the software to the other version. And it causes the actual money to split into two different types of money because there's two different types of servers.
And is that so they only have to, for lack of a better term, verify through half of it because you've split it in half? Is that the reason it speeds up?
Well, they want to use new technology to use little shortcuts, and it might work, it might not, but it's not going to work forever because the whole algorithm is inherently unscalable, and that means that the more people that use it, the slower it gets. And even if they are able to make it go faster for a while, it's still going to be slow eventually, the more people that use it.
So they would have to have future splits as well.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that Bitcoin eventually at some point will collapse in on itself.
Yeah, and I think it's already doing that. Once it gets really popular, we see the price go up, but we also see users complain about the time it takes. And so it's dying by its own popularity.
So what's going to happen down the road with this?
And this is the same technology as Litecoin, Ethereum. All of them are based on
the same technology, right? Because ultimately, this is an investment for a lot of people, but it's been, in order to really go mainstream, it has to be used as a currency. We have to buy groceries and pay our bills and whatever.
That's right.
Right? And that's the hurdle in order to make it user-friendly. So when I go to the grocery store, boom, there it is. I used it and we're done.
Right. So right now, if you want to go buy a Pepsi at the corner mart, it's going to take you 2 hours to confirm the transaction. But with something like CloudCoin, it comes in and we do it instantaneously because there's no blockchain. We're not tracking everything. So I think that we will see digital currencies dominate because they're so wonderful, but it won't be cryptocurrency. We'll see the cloud currencies come in.
How likely, but your technology, is this something you've worked out with a couple of other people? This is yours. It's proprietary. It's not proprietary. Thank you.
Friday.
It's not something that the other people have tried.
Yeah, we're the only ones that do it, and it's actually a global organization called the CloudCoin Consortium. And I've given that technology to that organization to make it happen.
The CCC.
How many people in the CCC?
Well, about 60. Most of them are network administrators. We have programmers.
60, like 6-0?
Yes, 6-0.
Okay.
Is it rolled out? Are you ready to go with it? Can people start using it?
Yeah, we started our first experiment in March, where we rolled out. We did a press release in Russia, and the Russians got to try it out first. Then a couple months later, we did a press release in Serbia, and that was a big explosion of use. And now last week we released it in America, and so we're seeing it here now.
And you're giving away 5 CloudCoins. Is that right for anybody listening?
That's right.
And how do they go about getting it?
We've got a website called digitalfrontiernews.com, and digitalfrontiernews.com are some marketing partners. And if you go to their website and sign up for their newsletter, you'll get my book for free, a digital version, and 5 free CloudCoins that you can try out and see what the future of currency is going to look like.
And let's say someone just wants to buy CloudCoins. Where do we go to buy them?
So you can buy them all over the world. If you just type in or search buy CloudCoin, you're going to find them.
What's the value right now to U.S. dollars?
So right now it's 3 cents per CloudCoin.
It's a pretty good deal.
And what's to say that there won't be another? Because you're talking technology that's going to basically outdate Bitcoin. What's to say later on another technology won't come out to take out CloudCoin?
Well, we've actually figured out what it means to be the perfect currency, and we have a model that's based on computer science. We found that that a monetary system is an information system, that money is data, and now we applied all of the rules that we apply to information systems and data to monetary systems, and we've created what we think is the perfect currency. So it's going to be hard to find anything that's better than CloudCoin.
Sean, this is really interesting stuff. I mean, I'm convinced that one of these is the future. It just has to be. And from what you're saying, you make some really good points.
I didn't even know that there was any. Right. Again, we're laymen when it comes to stuff. I didn't know that Bitcoin or all the crypto technology right now had limitations like this and had actual technical, physical boundaries that can't be crossed.
Yeah, like with the Bitcoin, you have to track every transaction that ever happens. And so that's 150 gigabytes worth of data right now that you have to download to your computer if you want to be secure. And that's, it fills people's hard drives up. It's getting too big.
Awesome stuff. Sean Worthington, author of Beyond Bitcoin, The Future of Digital Currency. We'll tweet out a link, but give us where people can go again to get your book and then find out more information.
digitalfrontiernews.com, or just Google buy CloudCoin.
All right, Sean, thanks so much, buddy. And we hope to have you back in the future if we have some questions. Please keep us posted. We'll help you out in any way we can, okay?
Excellent.
Thank you, sir. Sean Worthington. Okay,
and,
interesting stuff.
I'd like to announce that I am starting DirtCoin. DirtCoin will be dirt-based. I mean, it will be a very specific kind of dirt.
What do you think? Does he think this was?
I'm interested.
I mean, what he says sounds.
As soon as we get off the air,
sense.
I'm prepared to give you a couple of $100,000 because I believe in it so much.
I'm more confused now.
I am more confused too. But what he said makes sense, but it's still a little bit over my head.
Listen, folks, we're trying to figure this out too.
I mean,
part of the problem with trying to figure this out, you have to have a great knowledge of multiple things. Technology, which we do not. I mean, you have to be, we're not just talking an IT guy. You got to be an upper level.
Mathematics and algorithms.
But you also have to have knowledge of how currency works and economies, which, by the way, those two are different things. Currency and economy and how people spend. And then there's a whole investment strategy with human nature, how markets work. You've got like 6 different topics you have to be an expert on here.
I think I figured it out.
Do you remember Revolution, the show on NBC? Where the batteries, the power goes out. That's the whole basis. Power goes out across the planet. Batteries, nothing.
Oh,
There's
I kind of remember that show.
What happens then?
Yeah, where's all your digital currency then?
Are you talking worldwide?
Yes.
Then
worldwide.
You're screwed.
Right.
Well, then we go back to, tribes roaming
But
the
here's
earth
the thing.
for for control. And
But here's the thing. If that happens, all of our current currency is done.
Yeah, nothing works then.
Your dollar, you could have a barrel full of dollars, not going to work.
So then it's going to be guns, ammunition, food, salt.
Gold, right. So that's the thing. If the power goes out, so to speak, in just our country, with either one of these technologies, if you have $45 billion stored, you're still going to have it as long as there's a computer somewhere and you can eventually get to it.
Okay.
If it goes out globally, complete breakdown of technology, then our current structure, even your hard dollars and coins, are going to be worthless. Anyways, yes, sir.
We're talking about AI and how machines are going to eventually become self-aware, and it's already happened.
Yep.
Because Sean was very, what are you doing, Hal?
Yes. Was he a real guy?
He's a machine, I think. He's a computer program. We've created a new currency that's better than all.
He did sound a little...
maybe his wife was sleeping in the other room.
And he made a lot of sense as well.
No, I'm going with, I think he was AI.
I think he was trustworthy.
I think he was
too.
He must trust us all.
That's right.
Here's
what I'm going to do. If he said it's about 3 cents a coin,
I mean,
within the next day or two, I'll be buying $100 worth.
I was going to say,
but
I'm going to hedge my bet. Yeah.
How many? Like, he says it's the perfect currency or whatever, but how many times is this going to happen again? I don't.
What do you mean?
Then the next one that's going to say, no, this one's the one you should go with, and.
I want to fractured fish heads. Those are going to be the next big cryptocurrency. It's based on dirt coin, but it's a fractured fish head.
Okay, that sounds pretty legitimate.
You know what?
$100 you get 3,033.
This could be one of those getting in on the ground level thing. Like, imagine if you bought Bitcoin when it was 3 cents.
I'm going to do it. Here's the way I look at this stuff. And do your research, folks.
But Bitcoin is going through the roof.
I'll spend my entire last week's paycheck on it, as a matter of fact.
Oh, good. All of that.
All of it.
So here's the thing, though. I look at it like this. You go to Vegas. What are you going to blow? Let me back up.
Where's the bell?
Edit that out. You go to Vegas. How much money are you likely to spend on gambling?
Right.
A lot of people.
That's what I was thinking.
Couple $100? $500? $500 is not crazy for a lot of people.
No.
So $100 to buy this and say, I'm going to sit on it and forget it. If you had done that with Bitcoin
you'd
5
be a millionaire
years ago.
now. Yeah. Like you'd be that kid.
You'd have 3,000 Bitcoins.
Wait a minute. Are you going to blow the 500 or are you going to sit on it and forget it?
It's not just about good health, it's about good food. Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Nostalgia Foods and Wild Rice. Edible memories from Minnesota's Northwoods. Wild berries, jellies, and syrups, pepper jams that me and my family love, whipped honeys, maple syrup, maple sugar, plus wild rice and wild rice mixes like pancake mix, soup mixes, waffle mix, and hot cereals. BlazeWildRice.com to see all of their products. It's BlazeWildRice.com because most people can't remember how to spell Nostalgia, myself included. Check out BlazeWildRice.com.
Knowledge is power. Tweet at us with the hashtag #WhatILearnedToday. This is the Morning Blaze with Doc Thompson on the Blaze Radio Network.